Official disclaimer before this video starts, I am so sorry for pronunciations. I know I am bad at it, I'm trying. I am studying the names. I'm probably gonna mess it up still. I'm trying. I'm sorry. Okay, video starts. Alright, well, that was a story mission. Every time I thought it was done, boom! Another bit of lore. What we know for sure is that Dainsleif was connected to Khaenri'ah from the beginning, since he knew about the first ever field teller. He's also given immortality, while everyone else from his nation was turned into the creatures that make up the Abyss Order. At which point, Dainsleif left Khaenri'ah and started to oppose the Abyss Order, while our twin took up the role of prince or princess of those in the Abyss Order. Speaking of our twin, they woke up at some unknown amount of time before us, learned about Teyvet, and then tried to get us out of the world. As we were trying to escape, an unknown god came and forced him or her back to Teyvet, and then 500 years later, our journey begins. So, with that review out of the way, what does that all mean? Well, for Dain, there are only two reasons why he might have been singled out by the gods and given immortality. One, he did something to help the gods in the Khaenri'ah War and was given immortality in his powers over time, which it is powers over time. He had the ability to speed up his movements, and there's actually a lot of connections to Mondstadt and another god that they worshipped other than the Animo Archon, which was time. So that's probably Dainsleif, and in a way he's probably viewed as the Archon, but then all of this stuff is happening, so that's another rant. Back to the immortality thing. He was given it as a twisted gift, while everyone else was either killed or turned into the creatures that make up the Abyss Order. The other option is that Dainsleif was the founder of Khaenri'ah and planned on dethroning the gods, which would be why he warns us against trying to dethrone the Seven. He was behind the creation of the Field Tellers as a way of defending the people without visions. When Khaenri'ah was defeated, Dain was given immortality for being the main force behind the uprising, and then something happened which caused him to turn his back on the Abyss Order. Either way, it seems like Dain has a deep connection to Khaenri'ah at the same time that our twin was seemingly working alongside the people of Khaenri'ah and helping them make their nation. See, when we were first talking to Dain, he asked us 3 questions. If we highlighted the importance of others and of community, he'll say that we're a lot like our sibling. And when our sibling shows up, they refer to them as Dain. Not only that, but our twin has become invested in protecting the Abyss Order members, as well as holds a disdain for the people of Teyvet and the Seven. With all this in mind, I think that our sibling was taken in by Khaenri'ah while we were asleep. Their relationship with Khaenri'ah probably became a lot like of our own relationship with the city of Mondstadt. After all, despite how deeply we care for the friends we've made, the moment we saw our twin in the quest, we were willing to leave Teyvet far behind. And this reaction reflects what our twin did for us. The moment we were awake, they tried to usher us out of Teyvet right away. It would also explain why we were stopped from leaving the world of Teyvet. The god who stopped us must have been the god from Celestia that pushed for the war to happen in the first place. If our twin was involved with those they were fighting, it would make sense then that the god would try to punish them instead of letting us leave. Which also explains why we woke up without our powers. They probably tried to strip that away from us. But when we were stopped from leaving, our twins seemed to shift resolves. They dedicated themselves to the Abyss Order, becoming their prince or princess, possibly because they don't see any other way to leave. They see it as a way of protecting us. Interestingly, the Abyss Order's united actions are something more recent. Their first real united attack began with the one in Dvalin. That would mean that either our sibling waited until we were awake to start their plan, or that they had only recently gathered those of the Abyss Order together. But, seeing as Dvalin was already corrupted by the time we ran into Venti in the forest, it wouldn't make sense that our twin was waiting for us to appear, because then they would have just been like, oh look, they happen to be on the coast, let's start whispering in Dvalin's ear really quick, corrupt him, go, 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 and that just, timing-wise, it doesn't make sense. So, to sum up, here's a timeline of something that I think is what happened. Khaenri'ah was created by someone, probably Dainsleif, as a haven for those without visions. Our twin joins Khaenri'ah, and for some reason, we don't wake up with them. Field Tellers started to be created. The prototype managed to get to Old Mondstadt, where it was being tested, and started terrorizing people. The Khaenri'ah War begins. Celestia and the Seven are involved somehow. As the Khaenri'ah War comes to an end, our sibling managed to wake us up, somehow, and pushed us to leave Teyvet. A god stops us and forces us back to Teyvet. We wake up again, without our powers. Our sibling joins the Abyss Order and starts to organize them. We manage to fish up a Paimon. And the game begins. Of course, there's still a lot of questions left, like, How did Khaenri'ah come from a place that is not only cursed, but was destroyed 500 years ago? Why was Khaenri'ah first created, and how did they learn to make such a unique technology? Why did the Archons originally go to war with them? Okay, well, no, that one technically actually sort of makes sense. See, the Archons could have been forced to assist in taking down Khaenri'ah by Celestia. They are, after all, tied to Celestia thanks to the Gnosis. They could have also felt threatened by the field teller that showed up. Remember, the people of Mondstadt were terrified by them. It would make sense then that Venti would want to protect his people. To them, Khaenri'ah could have been seen as a huge threat to the people they were sworn to protect. Plus, the current Dendro Archon rose to power 500 years ago, which suggests that the last one had been killed during the war, or that their death could have been the cause of the war. Either way, it would make sense that both sides would perceive the other as some form of evil force, and we, as a sort of unbiased middle ground, will probably be able to mediate. After all, like Dane said, everybody likes us. It would only make sense that we would work to pull together everybody against the common enemy, which is most definitely Celestia. That, or we'll find ourselves on the opposite side of our twin, taking up our mantle of honorary knight as they take up their title of prince or princess of the abyss, and that will lead to another war. Hopefully it'll be the happier one, though. Overall, there's a lot going on in the game, and that's not even including whatever's going on with the Fatui. Gosh knows why they want all the Gnosis. Maybe it's to fight Celestia and then we're gonna be teamed up with them, or maybe they're just a chaotic force, who knows? But I can't wait to see it all unfold.